everyone. My name is Sabriaya Shipley. I am a graduate of TU 2018 in theater, acting concentration with a minor in African American Studies. And I am now the Executive Director of Theater Philadelphia. It's hard to believe that it's been 5 years since I graduated from Temple and immediately went into a lot of administrative devising work that gave me a plethora of skills. I became a teaching artist. I became an administrative apprentice at Theater Horizon. I then went on to become an education fellow with Philadelphia Young Playwrights, and then transitioned into really doing heavy community organizing with Treehouse Books in North Philadelphia, right around the corner from Temple. And then was blessed enough to have the opportunity to do a lot of devising work for myself and in community with other fellow artists. One thing that I'm grateful for in my journey is that the skills that I learned from my mentors, Mina Robinson and Dr. Kamika Williams-Witherspoon here at Temple, equipped me to just really be a champion for the arts, right? And for those of us who may exist on the margins oftentimes, are not palatable to what we believe art should look like and do, but to continue to do it anyway. And so that's where my journey has taken me since graduating. It's been a lot of failures, a lot of successes, and a lot of in-between days, and I'm thankful for it all. But one of the most important things as an artist is to find your core. What is a non-negotiable in your storytelling, right? And I think I was famous for, while I was at TU, being very like, I am not adjusting for no one, right? This is my core, this is what I believe. And sometimes that worked out for me. And sometimes that meant burning bridges, that meant leaving things. But I don't regret finding my core early on and saying, I do this work for Black bodies, for brown bodies, for bodies who are bigger sized, and I do this work for the next generation. So once you find your core, everything that is meant for you will find you. And that is not meant for you will surely leave you. So I wish the best in that journey because it's not easy, but I also wish for finding your community. I'm grateful that my mentors here have followed me into the past 5 years of my career. I'm thankful for the friendships I still have from my time at Temple. The familiar faces that are cheering me on in LA, in New York, in London, all over, because we made a connection here and we found our cores together. I have a master's degree in social justice and community organizing, and so my approach to organizations is fairly different because I know that the structure that we depend on doesn't necessarily always have to be and exist in that way. While I am leading the ship and I am making the finance choices, I am doing the hiring, I am doing the promotions and the meet and greets and all, and the lunches and all that. Most importantly, I am deciding the ethics in which we move through community, right? And so that is the most important part for me, is how we ethically bring this community together. And as executive director, that means, hey, we need to move this ship here. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it together, right? And realizing that executive director does not mean solo. It means really a whole bunch of community and influences coming in, and my job is to decipher, how we make those voices heard, but also how do we keep the space brave and radical. An overall vision for the next 5 years is to create more programming from Theater Philadelphia. Essentially, programming that is centered for the youth, meaning like we give accessible theater opportunities for the youth to kind of see theater, to review theater, to form their own kind of like opinions and journey within theater. I also see us recognizing through archive work and ethnography the living legends in our community who have been doing this work for 20, 25 years and may not be recognized as much as they should, right? And giving them their flowers in a way that is tangible, in a way that is respectful of what they've put in. And then finally, creating a central location and space. When I say location, I mean virtual or in person or whatever, that holds space for discussion. So I think it's great to have individual companies and things and initiatives, but what is the heart of what we're doing here in Philly? When I think of that, I think of my first time ever going out into the city when I came to Philly. It was my second week at Temple, and Bengal Tiger was playing at the Adrian Theater, and a bunch of us went on the subway and went down to see this show. And for the first time, I was like, this is amazing, because I'm seeing theater through the lens of not necessarily my hometown, but from an exploration standpoint. Theater in Philadelphia, for me, it's been a love and a hate relationship. And I say hate relationship meaning here I have failed, I have succeeded, I have created just off the whim, and I have become the artist that I am today. And what I love about Philly is that despite those failures, despite those successes, despite any of those gray days in between, the warmth that I have felt from my Philadelphia theater community has never wavered. Even when I've taken a break, even when I have said, hey, I think I am done, there's always been even a hub of theater Philadelphia community that has said, no, we got you. How can we help you heal back to creating? I think theater in Philadelphia is unique because we have these big, large universities like Temple, like UArts, Villanova, Arcadia, and it's like a very beautiful journey to see the transition of how we transition out of these institutions into creating together or seeing a familiar face across the room. And so that has been the journey I've been on throughout my Philadelphia career, yeah. Really, and I get a little emotional when I think about it, is that I think about the 20-year-old Sabriaya who may have sat in these seats and not believed in her vision, who waited patiently to get her main stage show when she was a sophomore, and again, when I was a senior, and the times I stood on that exact stage and voiced my opinion loudly and unafraid, right? The times that in this room, we talked about failing classes and like, are we gonna pass? The times where I came here after going to financial aid and being like, I don't know if I can afford to continue my education, and to really look, like it's flashed through my head these past 9 or 10 years since I stepped foot on Temple's campus and in Philly. It's bittersweet, and it is a deja vu full cycle moment that I can't describe how grateful I am to be on the other end of it. And to know that it's not the end. It's just a gift. Not everyone gets to come back to the alma mater and say, I did it my way, and I arrived to this destination, and I'm proud of this destination I arrived to. And not everyone gets to say that they trusted the process. Yeah. Shout out to all my TU class of 2018. We out here really doing big things. And thank you so much especially to my TU community for continuing to hold me down and to support me.